Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel Vanda with Helen. For those who are new here, hi, my name is Veronica and on weekly basis I am sharing you with some crochet tutorials, tips and tricks and so much more. And this week we are going to create this beautiful hexagon, granny square hexagon. And actually you can make out of these many projects. So actually I have decided that I am going to create this beautiful dress, but more in the upcoming video where I will be showing you exactly the whole process, how I created this dress. But in this video we are going to purely focus on the tutorial on how to make this beautiful African flower. But before we jump to it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so then you can keep up with all of my upcoming tutorials. So now let's grab your hook and let's start! Okay, so as the first thing, what we are going to need? So we are going to need three different colors of yarn. So actually I'm using mixture of the mark, but this is basically based on my stuff. So I'm using Cotton Friends from Hobby 8.4 and then Rainbow 8.4 as well. And basically you are going to need 3mm hook, scissors, and needles at the end for weaving the ends, but actually I'm weaving the ends also with the hook, so actually I don't need needle per se. And basically that's it. So now let's grab your hook and let's start. Okay, as the first thing we are going to grab our white yarn. So we are going to make a slip knot. So grabbing and taking this yarn. Now I will put it on my hook. Okay, so as a first we are going to chain 4. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I am going to slip stitch into my first chain. Okay, to make a circle. Perfect. Now I am going to chain 2, 1, 2, and actually this chain 2 counts as my first double crochet. And now I am going to make another double crochet into the circle. So now we have created this small circle right here. Okay, so into that circle I am going to make 1 double crochet. And this is actually my 2 double crochet cluster. Chain 2 is let's say 1 double crochet and then another double crochet. Now I am going to chain 1. And I'm going to make another cluster of 2 double crochets. So 1 double crochet and 2. Now I am going to chain 1 again and make another 2 double crochet cluster. We are going to make 6, so we need to have at the end 6 clusters of 2 double crochet, and I am going to meet you at the end. Okay, so now I have my 6 clusters, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I am going to chain 1 and I am going to slip stitch into my chain 2 space. Slip stitch. Okay, perfect. Now I am going to change the color. So I'm going to cut the yarn, fasten off. Okay, perfect. Now I am going to grab the second color, which is in my case green color. Okay, I am going to make a slip knot again. Perfect. And now I am going to place actually, so this is where I have ended and in my chain space before. So I am going to place my hook there, put my slip knot on my hook. And I am going to chain 2, so 1 and 2. Okay, after I made my first chain 2 space, we are going to make 1 double crochet. Now we are going to place chain 1 and in the same chain space we are going to place another 2 double crochet. We are making sure that the 2 yarns that we have, let's say 1 with the green and 1 with the white, we are keeping here like this, and every time we are making a double crochet we are making sure that we are going around these 2 yarns to kind of weave it in. Okay, so my 2 double crochet again, so the first and second, Okay, now I am going to chain 1 and I am going into my next chain space, making sure that both of the yarns are above my hook when I am pulling through the chain space. And I am going to place 2 double crochet, chain 1, and in the same space I am going to place another 2 double crochet. And actually this way I am going to all the time continue. So I will be making a cluster of 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. So now I'm going to place chain 1 again, and in the next space I am going to place 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, chain 1 and 1 and 2. So you are going to continue this way exactly all the time, and I will meet you at the end of the last cluster. Okay, now once we are done with our last cluster, we are going to chain 1 and we are going into our chain space to slip stitch. So, and now for the round 3 we need to start in our chain space. So that's why what we are going to need, or what we need to do, is slip stitch again to go through your chain space. Now we are in the chain space between those 2 clusters. We are going to chain 2 and make in this chain space 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, why 6? Because the first one counts as a 1 double crochet, so actually we are making 7, but in the first one it is 6 double crochet. Now we are going to chain 1 and we are going into our next chain space, but not this one, but this one. So we are going to always be making actually all our clusters of 7 double crochet into the chain 1 space between those 2 double crochets that we were making in the previous round. So I did chain 1 and now I'm going to place 7 double crochet into my chain space. So this is my 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6 and 7. Okay, now I'm going to chain 1 and again make 7 double crochet. Chain 1, 7 double crochet, and all the way till the end, and I am going to meet you at the end of when you will be making your last 7 double crochet. Okay, now once you are done with your last 7 cluster, we are going to chain 1 and we are going into our chain 2 space, and in the second one we are going to slip stitch. Okay, now we are going to cut the yarn because we are going to change the color again. So we are going to cut the yarn and fasten off. Okay, perfect. And now we are going to take our last color, which is a black one for me. We are going to again make a slip knot. Okay. Now I am going to put my slip knot first on the hook. And now what we are going to do is we are going not in our current row here, but in our previous row chain here. So I am going with my hook like this. I am grabbing the black yarn and making slip stitch. Okay, so now I am chain 2. Now I am grabbing this black yarn because I want to weave it immediately, so I am just pulling it back like this. Okay, and now when I will be crocheting, I will be holding those two, so the black and my green one, so then I can weave them so while I am crocheting, and I don't need to weave them in the end with the needle. So now what we are going to make will be, we are making 7 single crochet. So this is my where I slip stitch here, and here will be my first single crochet. So Don't forget to keep the 2 yarns in it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, now as of now you don't need those yarns anymore. We can actually cut them to not bother us because we already weave them in. So I'm just cutting them to not bother me. Perfect. Actually this one as well, this is from the previous round. Okay, and now I am going to make a double crochet, but I am not going to make double crochet here. I am going to place it in my chain space of my previous row, of my row 2 actually. So I am going yarn over, and I am not going here, I am going here, okay, and making double crochet. Now I am continuing with my 7 single crochet. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and again here I am going to make double crochet going into the chain below, and again 7 single crochet, double crochet, and this way you are continue all the way till the end, and I am going to meet you at the end. Okay, so now once you are done with your 7 single crochet, we are going to slip stitch into our first single crochet. Well, actually, no, in the single crochet into our chain 2 space, and in the second chain we are going to slip stitch. Now I am going to chain 2, and now I am going to place 4 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now I am going to place 2 double crochet. So I am going to place first 1 double crochet, chain 1, and the second double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, and this way we actually created our first corner of our hexagon. So now I am going to place 7 double crochet, simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now in the next stitch I am going to place again 1 double crochet, chain 1, and in the same stitch 1 double crochet. So I'm making a cluster of 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, and this is my second corner of my hexagon, and this way you are going to continue all the way through. So you are going to making 7 double crochet, cluster, 7, cluster, 7, cluster, and 7, or let's say the remaining. So when I will meet you when you will be doing your last cluster, and I will meet you at the, there to show you how to finish the end. Okay, so now once you are done with your last cluster of 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, we are going to place 3 double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3, and I am going to slip stitch into my first double crochet, and my hexagon is done. So I am going to cut the yarn, fasten off, and I am going to weave the end. But as I know that I will be using this hexagon to join with other hexagons, I am not joining into my top stitches, because then when you will be sewing them or crocheting together, it will go out. So actually where I will try to kind of hide them will be in my single chain row, when I was when I was making single crochet row. So I am not using a needle, because why? I am just simply lazy to pick it up. So actually I am just trying to go through one of the stitches here to go on to level down, so like this, Okay, and then now I am just simply going through, sorry, other way around, going through my single crochet, and this is how I weave the end. But of course you can put the take the needle and hide it into your double crochet, but what is important, do not hide it into the initial stitches, because we are not initial, like top stitches, because we are going to need them when we will be sewing or crocheting, depends which style you will choose, the pieces together. Okay, so I am just weaving the end like this. Okay, I think this should be enough. Okay, cutting the yarn, and now my hexagon is done. But of course now I will show you how to kind of, let's say, straighten it, so then it is basically at the end like this, because you see when it is fresh off the hook it looks like this, but we want to have a look like this. So now I will show you how to put it on how you can basically stretch it out. Okay, so I grabbed my granny square, table, or I don't know what is the correct name, but basically if you don't have this you can just use a cartoon or any box basically and just simple needles, but basically I have this, so I'm going to use it. So I am grabbing my freshly off the hook, let's say granny square, and I am going to place it where I was making my DC chain 1 and DC cluster. I'm going to place each of those clusters like this, like this, like this, and like this. I'm just pushing it down. Now I am not using water, but you can use also just simple water to little bit spray out. It will be better for stretching it, but actually I am using a stark, or how is it called, like the stuff that you need when you are ironing the blouse, not the blouses, but the shirts for men, to keep it basically a little bit tightened. So I am using this one. I am just a little bit spraying it. And now I will leave it to dry, and once it is done, then I can join the pieces together, but actually it will at the end look something like this or this, and then you can do it with different color combination, and yeah, basically that's it. And that's it for today. So now you should have this beautiful hexagon created. You can choose many different color combination, and you can create out of this basically hexagon whatever you wish for, if it is top, dress, or even handbag. So as a first thing I have decided to create a dress out of it, which I am now wearing, but more in the upcoming video, so stay tuned, where I will be showing you exactly step-by-step tutorial how to create out of these hexagons the full dress. And actually you can also create a handbag, so I'm thinking also creating a handbag out of it, so maybe I will make a video about this as well. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If so, please don't forget to give a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what would you like to see as a next, or maybe what would you like me to create out of those beautiful colorful hexagon. And until next time, happy crocheting!